Welcome, friend and foe, to the Skyrim Elysium Podcast. Turn up your headphones and stay a while.
I just wish you knew.
It's been a minute. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Internet. Welcome to the Elysium Skyrim Podcast. Today, we're going to be catching up on what I've been doing, what I've been working on, and future projects. And then we also have an interview or conversation with Boon 23, another amazing content creator, and a person who I call friend. So that will be towards the end. But what do I want to catch you guys up on? What have I been doing? I've been relaxing, but I've put my focus into a new type of content. What is that? I'm going to be doing a series in Fallout. It's going to be concise, one character, I think. We'll see. And, I want to just mod Fallout. I want to learn more about Fallout. I want to learn more about modding in general. And I want to tell more stories in the sandbox open world games. So Fallout is a new adventure for me. So what's going on with the Sagaverse? What is going to happen with that? I know what's going to happen with that. I really like the story that I was telling. There was some cool stuff that I was doing that I enjoyed. So when I first started all these characters, I had no idea they were going to be connected in a single universe. I know they didn't have voices. And slowly I just asked myself to try new things, to focus on learning new skills, whether that would be voice acting or new technologies, whatever. So just evolved. And I'd like to start it over one day. I'd like to go back and do Hasim, Savak, Velen, Buck, all those characters, and do the universe in a more concise way. Kind of so everybody understands what's going on, because there was a lot of confusion. So I think there's a lot of people that didn't know that they were existing in one, under one banner, under one story. And that's my fault. I didn't know what I was doing. Side note, don't ever know what I'm doing. So there's that. And is there anything else I need to catch you up on? I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I'm excited about the channel. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about doing live streams. I got a second monitor. So, my live stream hero at this point is Ireshot. If you're listening to this, thanks for everything. And, and then also Karn. Karn, your live streams are excellent as well. So, but yeah, I think that's it as far as what I needed to catch you up on. But before I transition away, I want to introduce Boon 23, a person who I just from afar was just enjoying his content, and he's genuinely grown into a friend. And so, without further ado, this is the Boon Icarus conversation, interview, whatever you want to call it. So here we go, transitioning into the interview. I am here with Boon 23. I'm a big fan of his content and his channel, but I could introduce his channel, but I don't think I could do as good of a job as Boon. Boon, would you introduce yourself and your channel?
Okay. Hello, I am Boon23 and I have a YouTube channel. The channel is all about challenge runs, actually. I enjoy playing Skyrim on the hardest difficulty, and I'm creating characters for that, from that, and always wonder what's the next challenge that I want to do.
I was just watching your Pure Imperial Oblivion Runner, the 12 Friends. But by the way, your thumbnails and your titles, they're fantastic.
Thank you.
I really like that armor too, the armor and the helm.
Yeah, it will not stay like this. I'm sorry.
It's gonna evolve. No, don't tell me that. That's okay.
You see, it's well, if you think about the concept, I'm playing a pure Imperial
That's
in
true.
this case. So there is no smithing, and when the levels get higher, I cannot improve enchanted stuff, and there is
Oh,
no chance to survive on level, say, 35 or 40 with unimproved gear.
yeah, that could get a little dicey.
Yeah.
So,
Especially if someone is not sneaking. It's pretty offensive, you know.
oh, so this is right. This is a very difficult. I didn't really think of how difficult you've made this character as far as like the build.
Yeah, they are all like that. You see, I did quite a few, and it's a challenge. Well, I want it to be a challenge, so I'm always creating extra rules to make it even more difficult. For
Yeah.
example, to play an Altmer and never visit the College of Winterhold.
Isn't I think this speaks to the fun of your channel and also Skyrim is like we make the game a game. You know, we put all these like extra rules and it makes it so much funner. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, that's also a reason why I'm not using many mods. I want it to be relatable to what everybody does. I find it when someone uses a lot of mods, the game looks beautiful, but it's getting very hard for me to understand what is a challenge and what not. Because with the mods, especially if they are game-changing mods, there come new rules, how the game is played and what is possible. And I want it to be relatable for everyone. So it doesn't matter if you play on the Switch or on a PC or on PlayStation. You can relate to that because you've been there and you may have tried. My best friend actually was inspired to try legendary difficulty because I said, well, that's the only way to play it.
Agreed.
And he was
Agreed.
getting
Huzzah.
he was getting so frustrated. Why? What did you do to me? That's not fun.
Yeah, the pun intended. It really is a game changer. Like it is quite a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
By the way, my favorite build that you did or playthrough was the Divine Crusader build.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
I think I like paladin type characters. I just like that playthrough though. I think that's how I found you.
Ah, okay. That was really a crazy idea to make a build entirely about one set of armor. And because this armor dictates so many rules you have to follow all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing is you're not afraid of a challenge, and I feel like something that you do well is you posture organically to what the game's throwing at you. I've always said this, that the main character of Skyrim is Skyrim, and Skyrim is just constantly giving you new variables and things, and then you have to posture to it, and I think you do that well.
Thank you very much. I learned the craft from Major Slack.
Major Slack. We'll have to link him in the description.
Yeah, you totally should. He is the one who made these pure builds and always on legendary difficulty, and it's quite mechanic what he does. Yeah, but it's superb strategy.
I'm aware of Major Slack's. I mean, he's a very popular YouTuber, and you are distinctly different. Even though if he did give you some inspiration, I do see that your playthroughs are seasoned, in the way that he plays, but I can. You also have a completely own way of doing things. Okay, here's my next question. What made you start your channel?
You see, I was making music. I'm playing in a band, and I'm a very creative person. So I was composing songs, lots of them, and I thought, hey, they are so good. I really have to make YouTube videos about them so people can see them. Problem is, no one does, and there is always this saying, "You do it for the art,"
Yes,
and that's not entirely true for me. I like the art, also love an audience.
I understand.
I
Yeah.
love I love reactions. I love, well, you see, at least a bit of attention. And my music, that was so frustrating. There was nothing at all happening. Um, and so I needed something else. And I was playing Skyrim for quite a while. I liked Major Slack videos, but I thought there was something missing. And you said this before, there is a difference, uh, his videos and mine. um, I'm playing the game and I want to play a character. He can only, with his style of playing, he can only do each thing once. When he says this is the ultimate thief build, he means that. When I say
Oh.
when I say now I'm making a thief build, uh, my thief gets so many special rules that I can do another one with entirely different rules, and it's not meant to be the perfect strategy, but close to.
It gives a lot of
But I'm
room for
play,
diversity within
but I'm
builds.
but I'm pl- but I'm playing the game. I'm having fun while I'm doing it.
Yes. I
Did I answer you? I think I answered your question.
Yeah. uh I do. This is what I've said is Skyrim is a really, really good place for artists to express themselves. Their medium is just different. So rather than using a guitar or canvas, they're able to tell stories and insert themselves in a unique way that represents themselves. And it's kind of interesting too because I've made a lot of friends that play Skyrim and have channels. And each and every one of them, including you, we all play the same game and we do it differently. And to me, I
Yes,
celebrate that. I love that.
and you see, a very important part which shouldn't be ignored is Skyrim is after 12 years super
Yes.
popular. You get viewers if you just pay a bit of attention to what you do.
Yes. Yeah. People recognize effort. I feel like
Yeah.
if you sink some time into it and try, people will recognize it. And I do see that in your channel too. Want to ask you a question. Have you downloaded any of the new mods for the update?
I'm still thinking about it.
I
Um,
perused. They look interesting. What do you think about them, though?
well, I think the East Empire expansion is a fantastic mod, which I really want to try out. I don't care about followers. I don't care about player homes because there are enough of them already. And but as an example, the East Empire expansion adds to the game in a way that could really that you could really I don't know, that really works, that really expands it, that really adds to it. And I also like the um, what is it called? Arquebus, the gun.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a
but
cannon,
but
basically. That thing is huge.
yeah, but I don't like it that you can cheat on the ammunition.
Oh, you can? I
And
didn't know that.
Yeah, if you run out of ammunition and you put a normal bolt into it, it will add one piece of the true ammunition to your inventory. And that's to
That
your
sounds like a
inventory. And that,
glitch.
yes, and that's just not good.
No.
So I guess I will stay away from that probably. I like more dungeons, so this dwarven additional dungeon, pretty cool. And I don't care at all about the Thalmor armor. It's not needed for anything.
That's
So these are my thoughts about all these new creations.
Yeah, I haven't looked through a lot of. I mean, I don't have access to the Bethesda net. I mean, I'd love to have all that content because of the modded Skyrim I play. I don't have any of access to that content, so I'm so envious and jealous to all the people that have access to it. So, well, if you end up playing any of it, I'll be the first. I might be the first to know. Karn, he did point out. I think the East Empire Company. Have you played any of the Fallouts, Boon?
No, I haven't.
There's
I was thinking about it a lot actually because they're from Bethesda, and obviously I seem to like Bethesda games, which is not entirely true because I only play Skyrim. I haven't played Oblivion. I haven't played Morrowind, which is also not true because I have played Morrowind and I was getting so bored by it. I think 15 years ago or 20 years ago. I don't know when it came out. Um, I remember in Morrowind. Uh, I started the game and it was some kind of city. I don't know the name. And I went in there.
Satanine.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm just putting that
And
out there.
you could talk to everyone. And I was getting so bored because I couldn't differ with what is important information and what is not. And everybody was just talking, talking, talking. I said, ah, that's not a role playing game that I want to play.
Okay, everyone,
So
put down your rocks. Don't throw them at Boon. Okay, if you're a big,
I,
if you love
I guess
Morrowind, I'm kidding.
I guess I played for 2 hours and then put it aside and never touched it again. And well, it was not for me at the time. Um, I think back then I was still playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and some of the Might and Magic role-playing games they made, and of course Diablo. And I came from a
Ooh,
different
yeah,
fantasy
Diablo.
universe.
I feel like Morrowind's strengths are also its weaknesses because it's a very big world, but they do not hold your hand. They
No,
just kind of
that's
throw
right.
you in, and it's all text based too. It's not aged well mechanically speaking, because there's no map markers, and they literally just are saying, okay, do whatever you want, but you're like, I kind of want you to move me in a direction, which you can see Bethesda evolving over time and helping you, and now kind of sending you in areas. So they're constantly perfecting. By the way, if anyone feels that Morrowind, Oblivion, or Skyrim are the best Bethesda games in the Elder Scrolls universe, that's your opinion, right? That's the wonderful thing about Bethesda games is you get to pick your favorite, right? And we can all have different opinions on that. I do like Skyrim with Skyrim. It's a really, really fun game. So did you already answer this question? Why do you love Skyrim?
So you asked me about Fallout.
That's right, I did. That's
And and I haven't played any of it. I was thinking about it a lot, but there are things that are putting me off. I don't like the leveling system from what I have seen.
Isn't it just like Skyrim?
Yes and no.
I'm trying to remember. They have a perk tree.
Yes,
I'm trying.
yes, kind of.
It's
See,
it's not the
I
constellations.
played Mass Effect and the first one, which was and the second one. Um, and I loved the first one, and the second one was okay, and the third one, yeah, changed something about how it felt to play it and how to shoot, which I didn't like. So I didn't warm up with that.
Isn't it funny?
have a lot of opinion.
They change those just like a little. They just make these little changes, and it takes away almost this nostalgia of what we used to know about the game, and it kind of turns you off to it.
Yeah, exactly. So a game needs to have a certain kind of attraction. You see, in Skyrim, it always feels like when you're fighting, it's simple. It's simple combat actually, but it feels like fighting. And when I play it, for me, it does. And
No, I agree.
I didn't grow tired of it. And one more thing about any other game, I'm currently releasing 5 videos per week, and
Hey,
I'm spending a lot of time editing these and making these, which leaves actually not really much time to do anything else.
well, as a fan, you're spoiling us, and I can just say thank you. Christmas has come
You're very
early
welcome.
for Boon fans. Thank you.
Yeah.
So in the why do you love Skyrim? I think you said something that was like prudent, and it was that the gameplay is simple, yet it feels like, it's complex at the same time. You have
Yeah. Yeah.
one arm and the other arm, and it's like, well, what do you want to put in those hands? And then you have your shouts. Do you have a particular? Do you have a preference of a style you like to play?
That's a good question. I could have answered this a lot better before from before I was doing YouTube videos. Um,
I understand
no,
why you
I
say
don't.
that too, because now that you do all these challenges, it opens you up to all these different gameplays. So you don't really
And
play necessarily how you want to play. You play based on the context you put all these characters in.
yeah, but it's basically the same. You see, there's stuff that I haven't done. There's still stuff that I haven't done, um, and I find this very attractive to get there and to get through this and to find my style in that.
Ooh, would you love
For
people to give?
example,
Oh, go ahead.
I thought playing the pure orc would be a lot easier than it was. I expected it to be, well, true offensive fighting. And I really didn't think about that I have no regeneration survival difficulty. And that was really, really making it very, very tough.
Yeah, it does sound hard.
So that was quite different than what I expected it to be. If you play without restoration, without healing, and can only rely on healing potions, and you will never find that many or be able to pay for them, um, wow, that's quite something.
Yeah, it's interesting because just basically a melee fighter, right? That was your orc build.
Yep.
You'd assume that you could just focus on just basically just putting out tons of damage per second, but because he's not very diverse, it just. So you're basically every time you found a health potion, I'm sure you were like, yes, just holding on to those things.
I can survive the next battle. Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, but with my orc, I had to realize that I had to rely on having a dog.
Oh,
Otherwise,
yes.
I wouldn't have survived this one. It
Tank
was
some
so
damage.
tough. And there is another thing. You see, there are so many exploits and tricks for Skyrim, and I'm not very fond of many of these. For example, let's take vegetable soup.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Vegetable
good strategy.
vegetable soup regenerates health and it gives you perpetual power attacks.
It does that in real
So
life, by the way, too. If you eat vegetable soup, you get lots of power attacks. Not really.
really, I
No,
didn't know that.
that's what my mom told me.
Yeah, of course. Um, and so In my builds, I don't want to use vegetable soup at all.
Because it's
It,
cheap
it makes the game too easy.
from your perspective. Yeah. I see
Yes.
it. Yeah, it's something that definitely I wouldn't call it I wouldn't call it an exploit, right? Because it's in the game, but it does. I do see where someone could say it does feel exploitive. It's cheap because
Yeah,
also
but
everyone does the vegetable soup combo. So
but
uh,
did you know that if you take 10 vegetable soup at once, they all add to each other?
I didn't know that they could stack.
They do. So if you take 10, you don't regenerate 1 health point per second. No, you regenerate 10.
Oh my gosh! Oh my
If that's not an
gosh!
exploit, what is?
Oh my gosh! That is insane. All right, I do have a good question, and
Yeah.
I have as a fan, I get the opportunity to ask something that probably a lot of people want to ask. Is there a particular build, because you're talking about there's a lot of different styles that you'd like to try and you haven't tried yet. Is there something that you've been ruminating on? You're like, I really want to try this. I'd really like to try this build or this, with this rule set or anything like that. Is there anything that's kind of in the back of your mind that you've been contemplating that you might have on your channel sometime soon? No pressure.
Vampire
Oh, vampire?
and werewolf.
That makes me very happy.
Yeah. And I'm still thinking about what rules I want to have in place. You see, what I want to do for both of them is they can only kill in their form. So vampire will only kill as a vampire, and a werewolf will only kill when in werewolf form. But especially for the werewolf, it could be very, very, very.
You just cut out. What were you saying about the werewolf? It could be very, very what?
It could be. I don't know where it stopped. Um,
Very
if you
difficult.
only want to kill in werewolf form as a werewolf, it could be very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, the werewolf is, I feel like stylized on doing a lot of damage, but not being able to take a lot of damage. But even on take a lot of damage, but even with the vampire one, that sounds like both of them sound like really fun builds, and that's stuff that we can all look forward to watching in the future. No rush, but I'm excited to
I
get
can't.
that information a little bit early. So.
Yeah, you do. I think it will be about 4 or 5 months because it takes quite long. You see, I'm not condensing my builds. I'm playing them until they end, which means the build will be always about 40 to 60, maybe 70 episodes, which is a lot.
No, I'm in the same place as you are. I have stuff that's going back a year. So, and then especially when you're not publishing, well, you start publishing 5 days a week, but still when you have so much content, it takes a lot of time to finish these characters, builds
Yeah,
characters.
problem is I'm not doing one build at a time. I'm currently running 3 builds per week.
Oh, yeah. So that,
Yeah, well, one is currently the pure Imperial Oblivion. One is currently the pure Imperial Oblivion runner. I'm looking what my wife
that,
does and if I'm in a hurry or not. So one is the pure Imperial Oblivion runner. The other one is Permadeath Legendary Survival.
the
No,
Argonian.
it's called. No, not just the Argonian. This is a continuing series, and there will always be a new one. I have, I think, 190 options to play that.
Oh my gosh.
It will be one race in one location, playing as pure as possible, and never leaving that location.
That's intense. That's I love that you can do that in Skyrim. You can make a little game in just that area. So, okay.
Exactly. And sometimes it's pretty tough. You see, I just survived with my fourth try, my fourth attempt. I survived for the first time my permadeath challenge. That was the pure Nord in the Reach.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is a Nord only having adventures in the Reach.
The Reach is hard too. Some of those Forsworn will just take it out of you if you're not careful.
It is super hard. I start with absolutely nothing. Was a non-stealing character, and I couldn't actually enter any dungeon for a very, very long time.
I bet.
Because I would have just died.
Yeah.
And it's permadeath, so I should avoid this.
By the way,
this one was.
Oh, go ahead.
But this one was successful and made it to level 23, which is the final goal.
When your characters die, I just want to let you know, because I've watched them die before. It's heartbreaking. It's very, very sad. It's like, no. But that's the fun thing about your permadeath playthrough, because there's a lot of tension. You're like, no. And then when you do die, you're like, ugh. You always re-roll another character. So,
have you watched my Argonian for maybe one episode or so?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
The Argonian in the Rift. You think she will survive?
I mean, define survive. Like, how long? How many episodes do I think she's gonna? Do you think she'll make it to the end?
Level 23.
This is what I'll say. We trust you, Boon. We trust you. Her life is in your hands. So
yes, it is.
I want, but it's a very difficult playthrough.
It's super difficult because I have this one special rule in place, and that's be adventurous.
Yeah.
Of course, I can get every character to level 23 everywhere. That's no problem. I just have to rely on business and maybe pickpocketing, something that is not deadly but levels you up. But that's not the case here. I have to be adventurous. I have to go outside. I have to fight.
Oh, that's got to be that's spooky.
And in this case, with the Argonian, it means unarmed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you get that claw damage, but you just got to get in so close. This is okay, I'm going to give my opinion. Yeah, I don't. If you're able to complete this build, I feel like it has nothing to do with how good of a player you are. In Skyrim, we all understand this. There's a lot of luck on your side. You know,
there is a lot of luck needed for that. Yes.
Yeah. So, all right, last and final question, because I want to be sensitive of your time. This is the most important question. This is what I bring everyone here to answer. Okay. So what is your favorite food? All time.
What do you mean all time? It changes, you know.
That's okay. I put you in the box. I put you in a box. You're right. What is your favorite food currently? That's like asking what your favorite band is, right? Your favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this changes. You see, when you ask about music, and you had asked me 20 years ago, it would have been entirely different because I softened up a lot, and which is fine. Yeah. And it's also very social because more people can actually listen to what I listen to. But we are talking about food. So my favorite food currently is coq au vin, which is
do tell.
Chicken in a red wine sauce. It's a French recipe, and it's so tender and tasteful and yummy and
It sounds savory, which is my favorite food combo.
And I'm obviously still eating meat, even though my wife is vegetarian.
I was But by the way, I did vegetarianism for about 3 months, and one thing I was really surprised about vegetarian, there's a lot of good foods out there. Like you can eat
Yes.
some really, really yummy vegetarian foods.
Yep. But I think meat is, I don't know if we should talk about this in a podcast. I don't care. Maybe you will cut it out. I don't know.
Yeah,
It doesn't
go
matter.
ahead.
You see, meat is like a drug to me. I don't know why. You see, if I don't have it for quite a while, I tried to be a vegetarian too. And if I don't have it for a while, I crave it. And I crave it more and more. That's not a good thing. It's pretty hard for me to be a vegetarian.
Food. I mean, there's a saying about food being comfort, and it's called, in the U.S. we call it comfort food. And food is sustenance, but it's also something we eat that reminds us of our childhood and all these other things. And so we make attachments to certain foods, and some of them have meat in it. I grew up eating meat too. I really appreciate anyone that's doing personally the efficacy of veganism or being a vegetarian. I personally don't participate in it, but because like you, meat is, this is what we call the episode, meat is a drug.
Yes, let's do that.
Yes. But anyways, Boon, I thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing kind of why you started your channel and the way that you play. And I just want to say that you become a friend of mine, and I really appreciate you, and that maybe one day we'll do another podcast in the future.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we did this, and I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. My channel is and will always be small, and I don't care about this because it's enough, and I'm content with what I do because I do what I really like. And so this is the perfect compromise between enough attention and doing the stuff that I love. I'm very happy that I got to know you for a bit, and I hope we can improve on that. I thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Absolutely. And you're sitting at 762 subscribers. Boon, I think that's pretty big. I remember there's a time, where all of us sat at like 10 subscribers, and it's like, will there ever be a day where we get 100? And then you get 200 and 300. So I celebrate your 762 subscribers. But
the fascinating thing about this YouTube journey is, I used to think when I have 100 subscribers, I will be happy. I used to think,
yes,
once I have 250 subscribers, I have made it. I have reached everything that I want to reach. And well, now I'm at 750 something. And YouTube does this thing where you always think you need more and more and more and more.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. And especially when they wave with dollar bills and tell you, hey, you can actually make some money. Let me tell you this to everyone who is listening. Making money on YouTube is an entirely different story than making what you like.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a topic for another time. But yeah, they're two different things. Definitely. Making money, in my opinion. Also, we're both very small. It seems like you really do kind of have to change your content a little bit to be more popular and not as niche. I think so. I don't know. Know what you don't know, though, right? But anyways, thank you so much, Boon, and I thank everyone for listening, and we will all see you very, very soon.
Take care, everyone.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Boon as much as I do. He's a wonderful person, but his the stuff the content that he makes is so enjoyable. So check him out, give him a sub, give him a view. He definitely works hard, and I think it shows. So I thank you so much. You're gonna see me sooner than later, and yeah, I'm working on my Fallout mod list. I'm learning computers, and yeah, So I will see you all very, very